All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good whatever to everybody watching. And welcome to an SCL Shoutcast. Hydrate medic. I have water prepared for just such an occasion. Sipping water out of a festive wine glass. That's how we do it here at Twitch TV/Quintessence. Anyway. We are in the quarterfinals of the current season of SCL. And as the title says, we are looking at a match right now about to happen between Panic at the Dockyards and the Kintan Striders, who earlier in this day, whatever, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever it was for you, but a few hours ago, Kintan Striders came out on top against Niwi Crone, and they are looking to take a swing at one of the current top dogs in the league in Panic at the Dockyards. Let's go ahead and take a look. Bunger indeed. Let's take a look very quickly at the standings for the league right now, as they are currently. The playoffs look like this. Cavern Angels Blue is the first team to make it out of quarterfinal, or make it into quarterfinals. However this works. Point is, Cavern Angels Blue took first blood in the playoffs, and they took a 3-0 win over Savrip Squadron. They have secured themselves their spot, and they will be playing the winners of Wise Guys versus Orange Squadron when that match plays out, presumably today. And simultaneously to this Shoutcast, Baywatch versus Nord is happening right now on the official SCF channel, being casted by Graf Lucas. So if you wish to watch this, and also this Shoutcast at the same time, please do so. But do what you want. I am not your mom. And then we also have, that's about it. Right now we are waiting on map and faction picks between Panic and Kintan, which are ongoing right now. We are going to be looking at a game one showdown on Yavin. Panic at the Dockyards flying with the New Republic, which puts Kintan Striders on the Empire. Interesting that Panic is going with Empire. Or going with NR on Yavin. That, I believe, shows how confident they are in their New Republic play. So far, it's been a very interesting playoff season thus far. As a player with Savrip Squadron, my run in the playoffs has since ended. So I am here watching what happens next with great interest. I have my opinions on what teams should move forward and what teams I want to see do well. But for the in the interests of caster impartiality, I will keep those opinions to myself for now. Although I have been very outspoken outside of Shoutcast, so I think my opinions are pretty easy to discern. All right, so map and right now we are on the final map and faction pick. For those of you who are unaware of how this is working, for the playoffs they are a best of 5, and with the current rules this season, maps and factions are picked out in advance. So in the off chance this goes to a game 4 or a game 5, Maps and factions are pre-selected. All right. So we have... Actually, I'm going to write this down for my personal reference. So for game 1, it will be on Yavin with Panic at the Dockyards as NR and Kintan Striders as Empire. Game 2 will be Kintan Striders as New Republic with Panic as Empire. Game 3 will be on SCL. Oh no, wait, no. Game 2 on Sisebo. Game 3 on Galatan. Right? And the match lobby is up. Under this player with a password. All right. Vedek, of course, the support player for the Kintan Striders, currently unable to play with his team for these matches. So a legal substitution has been made. Lauren from Savrip Squadron will be flying in the support position for the Kintan Striders. This was a substitution that was agreed upon by both teams, so everything is, to my knowledge, above board. And this time, when I cast this match, I will endeavor to correctly call Hod. There will not be a repeat of the Hog incident. It was Hod, not Hog. And we are now currently... That was very funny. Objectively, it was funny. Alright, we are almost done waiting on players to file into the lobby for game number 1, and the final player has entered. Caster is good to go. So once both teams have given the ready, we will be underway. You know what? Is someone in my chat able to do gambling? Can I do gambling here? I don't know how to actually do the gambling. Let's find out while this game loads in. Alright, so game 1 is Kintan Striders on Empire. So here we are. Oh man, how do you do the gambling? Oh well, I don't know how to do it, so we're gonna have to go without gambling this round. Okay, hold on. It looks like the lobby is being remade. There must have been some sort of mistake in the making of the lobby. Ah, they forgot to put Sam Soren on Empire. So here we are, coming out of the MC75 is nobody! Nobody wins this game! The invisible Sam Soren destroys the Star Destroyer all on his own and takes game number 1 for the Kintan Striders. Wow, I have never seen that happen before. That's great. Man, that's stealth. Ah, I see. Alright, hold on. We are waiting for the reforming of the lobby. Okay, I'll have the Jamblin set up. Once we join the lobby. Thank you for the advice. Alright, players are in. Caster is ready. We are now loading the game number 1, Kintan Striders versus Panic at the Dockyards. Put in your predictions now. Gamble with whatever I ended up calling my Quinn Bucks. Gamble with your Quinn Bucks. Might be able to buy something with it someday. Okay, so for the Kintan Striders, as I mentioned before, Lauren is filling in for Medic in the support position. Otherwise, we have the standard Kintan Strider lineup. We have Dynasty, Calamity, Sam Soren, Agent Rob, and Lauren on the sub. And Panic at the Dockyards. We have their tried and true lineup. Platypus 11. 11th to her name. What happened to the other 10 platypuses? None of your business. Then we have Hod, Ekpired, Kriegzilla, and Zero Gravitas. Why is there no 1 or 2 Gravitas? Well, because they got it right with 0, I guess. Oh wait, you know what? The Jamblin did close pretty fast. I'm sorry, I made that a very short Jamblin. Actually named Sagan 1 Gravitas after he subbed in for a scrim. That's beautiful, I love it. 1 Gravitas, a single Gravitas. Okie dokie, ladies, gentlemen, and those who lieth betwixt or not at all. We are loading into game number 1, Kintan Striders versus Panic at the Dockyards. Above, in the skies of the gas giant Yavin Prime, the beautiful forest moon of Yavin 4 looming overhead as these two teams duke it out in the final destination of squadrons. There's no cover aside from the clouds. Open space, no items, Fox only, Yavin Prime. Here we have the Y-Wings coming out to get their packs. TIE Bombers are lining up their packs as well, and both teams are now about to collide, and the battle is met. Kintan Striders took the initial morale lead, but now, of course, as packs are coming in, farm is bouncing back and forth. Kintan Striders' PK pressure has Kriegzilla on the run. He's going to have to fly evasive or get picked off. Excellent PK pressure from the Kintan Striders puts Panic at the Dockyards on the back foot. Ekpired on the back of Ilorin gets a successful dunk at the TIE Reaper. That pancake is looking real sad. That pancake is going to have to fly or flop. Ekpired isn't going to let Ilorin go that easily. Despite her best efforts, she cannot shake the Ekpired. Kriegzilla is now back at the hangar, but is still a solid couple of seconds away from contributing to the farm. Lauren is now taking a chance to recuperate under light cruiser, which means the rest of her team is going to be out without resupplies, which includes those TIE bombers so susceptible to PK pressure and chip damage. And with the Raider being taken, the first offense is Kintan Striders. Now it's going to be up to Lauren to get into position to drop the marks on this frigate. They have decided to choose Delta, the right-hand cruiser. Marks are out. Now it's the responsibility of the Flexes to strip the shields. Agent Rob is their source of ion torps. I believe that with the pressure Rob is receiving, it seems that Panic has correctly identified Rob as their primary source of ions. So they are forcing out this unshielded TIE fighter with a massive amount of pressure. But in the meantime, shields have been stripped on Delta regardless, which means now it's the bombers' turn to lay into the Nebulon B with their ordnance, with their rotary orbits. Rob taking a break for the PK pressure to contribute to that damage, but Panic's farm is coming in at an excellent clip. And with the taking of the Raider, Panic is able to flip the phase and go on their first offense, while denying Kintan Striders their out of phase. An excellent, solid defense from Panic at the Dockyards. HOD is already in. Marks have already been dropped. Ions are going into the shields of Delta. Kriegzilla and Platypus are in position to start stripping turrets on the cruiser. The turrets are now down. Golo plopped on the top of Delta. Looks like that was a clean, full turret strip. Kriegzilla on the underside, lining up his Golo. Stripping turrets with lasers and multis. In the meantime, HOD pressured out of the fight by Kintan Strider's excellent PK pressure. And off the distance, you can see what I'm assuming is either... Yep, that was Platypus's Y-Wing, gracefully dodging an ion missile, chasing her around. With the rate the damage is coming in and the rate the morale is trickling down, Panic at the Dockyards looks like they are going to secure an out-of-phase for this offense. They were able to do what Kintan Striders was unable to do, and secure an out-of-phase for their first offense. Despite losing the open, this puts Panic at the Dockyards in a very favorable position. Kintan Striders are going to have to work their asses off. Their best bet is to secure a double out of phase for this attack. They have one cruiser at half and the other unshielded, so acquiring a double out of phase is not entirely out of the question. But Lauren, unfortunately, pressured out, unable to get in and drop the mark. She is actually forced to return to hangar. That's okay, because the rest of the Kintan Striders took this opportunity to move in unmolested to get Nebulon B Delta down to the point of being out of phaseable. I would hold off fire if I were them. Let the Flexes get it down to to the single digits. They have less than half morale. Raider is still up. Strike that, Caster's Curse. And it appears that Panic at the Dockyards once again has a complete brick wall shutout of a defense and is able to prevent the Kintan Striders from acquiring the double out of phase. However, Kintan Striders do have one out of phase to work with. So depending on how fast this farm and this morale come in, they could potentially prevent Panic from getting an out of phase or even pushing through. That pick onto Kriegzilla is also going to seriously help the Kintan Striders' chances. Delta is at half, morale is at half, and the Corvette is still in play, which means Panic at the Dockyards has a few options here. For one, they could bonk. They could bonk a teammate. That is a thing they could do. Their options here are hold off on damage, hope for the phase flip, take the out of phase, or the bold move. They could do the bold move of pushing through this cruiser and doing an ISD offense with what morale they have and try and secure a shield generator takedown. But it seems that they are hoping that the phase will flip. One AI from flipping. And there it is, the out of phase secured for Panic at the Dockyards. Ekpyred taking a decent amount of pressure from Kintan Strider's PK, but now it's time for the Kintan Striders to move in and cause some hell. After this offense, no matter how far they get on this offense phase, unless if they somehow one-phase the MC-75, they are going to have to fall back and defend the Star Destroyer for at least one phase. In this position, it's still anyone's game. Panic at the Dockyards can very well take out the Star Destroyer in one phase, but Kintan Striders can very easily, in kind, give Panic at the Dockyards a taste of their own medicine and give them a shutout defense and prevent them from taking the Star Destroyer in a single phase. But we'll have to see. Raider still in play. Charlie will probably fall. Unless if morale drops. Yep. The last cruiser falls to the Raider passive, which means the Kintan Striders have a decision to make, and as it appears the decision is to move in and take out a shield gen if they are able to. They do have precious little time to do it. Bombers move in. That shield gen is at 30, and unfortunately Calamity is unable to secure the gen kill, and the phase ends for Kintan Striders. The Flexes are now retreating, trying to find a pick here to defend their Star Destroyer, and Dynasty appears to be on the back of Krieg. Pressuring the Y-Wing off the attack. Meanwhile, Marks appear to be in, Hod appears to be in, and the X-Wings in the form of Ekpyred and Zero Gravitas are making their way in. Dunks have been made. The shields have been temporarily disabled on the Star Destroyer. Hod has been taken out. It does not appear that Panic at the Dockyards will be able to take the Star Destroyer this phase, but the Star Destroyer will be buttered up for them to take the next phase unless if Kintan Striders takes them out. Lauren eating the double dunk, and Ekpyre taking a big bite out of the pancake. That is going to at least give them a little more time to put in some damage on this Star Destroyer. Zero Gravitas now on the back of one of Kintan Strider's bombers. Sam Soren flying for his life. But Zero Gravitas running out of laser juice, unable to finish the job and secure the kill. So now it's Kintan's turn. Lauren is alive and in the fray. This is do or die for the Kintan Striders. They have the players. They have the players in position. They could gut the fish and take out the MC-75 in one phase, but it's all up to Lauren. Can she get in range to get the marks? Can she evade the pressure from Panic at the Dockyards? One shield generator has been taken down. Marks are now in play, but Lauren has been dunked. It is likely to go down. Morale at less than half. Raider takedown and some AI will do it. Panic at the Dockyards at every turn have been just shutting down the Kintan Striders offense. And just like that, the phase goes back to the to defensive for Kintan Striders. And it looks like this is going to be a victory lap for Panic at the Dockyards. All they need to do is punch through, dunk a shield gen, pop the low health one, and they have just over a half health ISD to eat through. And I don't know about you, but when it comes to pizza, I can't just have one slice of pizza. It's either I eat no pizza or I eat all of the pizza. And Panic at the Dockyards are going for the whole pizza. Morale is at less than half, but with power down and weak spots open for the taking, Panic at the Dockyards will either get this in an in-phase kill or an out-of-phase. The Star Destroyer is now low enough to be safely out-of-phased, but of course the game is not over until the capital ship explodes, which it has now done. Game number 1. Panic at the Dockyards. Let's check out the scoreboard, shall we? Both teams putting in impressive farm numbers. In fact, putting the two farm totals together, Panic and Kintan farmed nearly the same amount. And damage seems to be spread pretty well across all players. The Kintan Striders absolutely made Panic earn that Game 1 win. But, of course, it is not over yet. We still have potentially 4 more games to play out. Up to 4 more games, I should say. So while they get the lobby set up for game number 2, I will be right back. I'll be like 2 seconds. Okay, I have returned and I appear to have lost connect. Okay. All right. Game will be under player and will have a password. All right, caster is ready when the rest of the players are. Waiting on the last players to shuffle in before we begin the second match of this potentially crazy intense series between the Kintan Striders and Panic at the Dockyards, even. So reflecting on the performance, what happened in the last match, what I think it boiled down to was farm and timely PK. Contrary to the meme, PK is not dead. Brainless PK maybe, but timely PK on phase transitions is alive as ever and honestly quite necessary. Came down to farm, and it came down to picks. Panic were able to shut down Kintan Striders' offense at key moments by boxing out and taking out the supports, boxing out the bombers. And on the defense, they were able to stop Kintan Striders from inflicting too much damage by having some incredibly fast turnaround on farm. But of course, Yavin is a map that's known for its very easy farm. So phases on Yavin, ideally, in a high-level game, should not last very long at all. And speaking of good farm maps, we are loading into Sisebo. Kintan Striders are electing to play the New Republic here. As I was talking earlier in the day with my co-caster Platypus, who of course is playing in this match, I mentioned that I really do believe that farm on Sisebo is definitely better as New Republic, because TIE fighters tend to stick in packs easier. They don't break up they're not as prone to breaking up as X-Wings. With the exception of the Open. The Open is interesting on Empire, because from the Empire side, 2 packs spawn in the upper right-hand corner. It is very easy to get one dumbfire off on one pack, and while your Golo is in transit, you can get multis off on the second pack, and if you do it right, without being pressured out of it, it's an easy 10 AI, and those X-Wings spawn instantly. So if you're able to stay in that corner and grab X-Wings as they come in, you have basically infinite farm. But of course, that's in theory. In practice, things get a little more hectic than that. But we'll see. We are now loading into game number 2. Coming out of the MC-75 this time are the Kintan Striders. And we have Sam Soren, Iolor and Agent Rob, Gunslinger and Calamity heading to the center of the map to go contest with Kriegzilla, Platypus, Ekpyred, Zero Gravitas, and Hod. Hod with a D. All right, Platypus is on that first pack I mentioned. Getting a little bit of pressure from the X-Wings. The ghost of Avenger 1 still haunts the game. And now that the initial packs have been grabbed, things are a little more complicated in the Sisebo Open, because AI are now starting to scatter. But Panic at the Dockyards is able to claw out on top and earn the first offense. Pod is in position. Marks are out. Meanwhile, Plat taking a moment of opportunity kill on Rob. That is a sign of excellent communication between the members of Panic at the Dockyards and excellent game awareness. Platypus taking only a second or two of her time to secure the kill on Agent Rob. And then Gunslinger goes down as well. Both flexes for Kintan Striders are gone, which means the bombers are able to do these long rotary orbits with almost no pressure whatsoever. And the damage is coming in for Panic at the Dockyards. Morale is at half, and they've already left one cruiser out of phaseable. Excellent, excellent work from Panic. Cutting it a little too close on the health of that Nebulon B there. I saw a multi go out when it was at 6. That would have been a little. That was a bit of a clencher there. So if Panic at the Dockyards can close out this, they are closing out the phase with an out of phase guaranteed, as well as a little bit of damage and shield strip on the second Nebulon B. That's about as good as any team can reasonably expect. Excellent offense from Panic at the Dockyards. Kintan Striders need to return the favor to stay in the match. Here comes Gunslinger with the ions. Here comes Rob trying to jockey for position for what appears to be... No, that's an ion missile, not a torp. And the Sisabo farm is coming in lightning fast for Panic at the Dockyards. Kintan Striders already working with less than half a route and within Raider flip range now. That's a Raider and an AI or two. This is a fantastically fast defense from Panic. Lauren boxed out. The only thing she can do is hang back and get some resupplies. No out of phase no out of phase secured by the Kintan Striders. Panic at the Dockyards are at an excellent spot. Now, of course, is the old question of whether or not the Panic at the Dockyards will push through or hold for the out of phase. Hod. If I was a betting woman, I would assume that with the morale the way it is, Panic at the Dockyards is probably going to look to punch through and get a shield generator. Hod is already preparing for that eventuality. And yes, the Nebulon B has been dispatched. The MC-75 is open for the attack. The bombers from Panic are now choosing the visual right shield gen to dump on. Three players worth of runs were not able to kill the gen, but Platt, with a long drift under shields, will secure the kill, and the MC-75 is now shieldless and open for the taking. Power has been destroyed. Targeting system is under fire. Of course, targeting, unlike on the Star Destroyer, any damage done to the targeting system on the MC-75 is considered hull damage, so the targeting now goes down. Power goes down, and the weak spots of the MC-75 are being popped like bubble wrap. At the rate of this damage, it's either going to be an in-phase kill or a very, very brief out-of-phase for Panic at the Dockyards. Phase has ended, but I think the life of the MC-75 is also now at an end. Game number 2. A decisive win for Panic at the Dockyards. Maze, if you are referring to Lauren, Medic was unable to make these games, so both teams agreed on fielding Lauren as a substitute. Wow. Just look at the damage here from Panic at the Dockyards. This was a swift and clinical Empire win. Which means game number 3 and match point could potentially go to Panic here. But of course, it's not over until it's over. Kintan Striders are still in this. They still have the ability to claw this to a game 4 or a game 5. But of course, only time will tell. Alrighty. We are, of course, now waiting for the third and potentially final lobby to be formed. So, let's step back a second and think here. Let's reflect on game number 2. Once again, I think the deciding factor in this match, less PK this time and more just sheer efficiency. At every turn, Panic at the Dockyards was able to counter Kintan Striders at every move. They were able to pressure the players they needed at the right time. The OBJ came in exactly at the rate they needed it. The farm was lightning quick. Raider burns were swift. The defenses were short. And the defenses were so short, the Kintan Striders were not able to inflict significant damage on the cruisers, and that is reflected in the scoreboard. Not a reflection of the skill of any of the players involved, but a reflection of how much time they were given to do their jobs. Caster is ready and willing to go. All right, welcome viewers from Rebel Pilot's stream. If you were not already here, you are just in time to witness game number 3 between Panic at the Dockyards and Kintan Striders. All right, Kintan Striders are running the same team they ran last match. Gunslinger is still in the hot seat. Panic at the Dockyards are running the same stack they've been running for the last couple of games. This time, they are going toe-to-toe, head-to-head on Galatan. Everybody's favorite map. Galatan, where even the most evasive and skilled pilots are humbled by rocks. Do not disrespect the rocks, for the rocks will disrespect you. In fact, I think that Galatan as a map has the best KD in the entirety of Star Wars Squadrons. With Lord knows how many hundreds of kills and no deaths. Galatan OP. Nerf, please. All right. Both teams are hurtling towards the center of the map. A dance with destiny. There is no game sound. That is very concerning. Everyone's in the Galatan Geological Survey. I do not know what happened to game audio. I'm going to have to figure that out at some point, but right now there's a game going on. Sam Soren and Hod both have gone down in the open. With Panic at the Dockyards currently maintaining a very slim, not even a slim lead, a significant lead on the morale, and morale has now maxed out in the favor of Panic at the Dockyards, and they are beginning their first offense. I am wondering what's going on with game audio, but once again, you will have to imagine the pew-pew as Panic at the Dockyards begin their first offense. Was there game audio at all in the last couple of games? Anyway, shields are about to fall on Charlie, and morale is looking good for Panic. That light cruiser, if I know Panic's OBJ damage, is that hull is going to melt like butter in no time at all. I mean, what else is there to say at the moment? Panic at the Dockyards are playing an absolutely clinical NR game here on Gallatin on their first offense. Delta is about to be stripped of shields, and the farm just doesn't seem to be coming in fast enough for the Kintan Striders. Of course, farm on Gallatin is, of course, easier said than done, especially as Empire with X-Wings just completely break apart just like this and are hard to pick off in 1s and 2s. Slowly but surely, the phase is now going to flip in the favor of the Kintan Striders. Meanwhile, the caster is going to find out what the hell is going on with her game audio. Aha! Game audio! I was tabbed into the game. But I fixed it. We now have the pew-pews. Just in time for the phase to flip. At least one out of phase secured. Yep, one out of phase secured by Panic at the Dockyards. And the other cruiser reduced to half. Absolutely crushing offense from Panic at the Dockyards here in game number 3. And Calamity, unable to find refuge underneath the light cruiser. Zero Gravitas and Platypus are not giving Calamity a chance to breathe. And Calamity goes down under the safety of their own cruiser. Leaving Sam Soren as the only bomber currently laying in damage. And Sam is trying. The morale is at approximately, well, it was at half, now it's less. And Raider is still in play. Raider was just taken, so it's a couple of packs, a pick. And that's going to be it for this offense phase for the Kintan Striders. They need to push this damage hardcore if they have a chance, if they want to have a chance of staying into this game. Calamity is now just in. Get a couple of last little licks on this cruiser. They could push it here. It's possible. They could get an out of phase out of this. There is still time. The phase ends with the Nebulon B in the teens. This is a firmly out of phaseable cruiser. They can dedicate the resources to make this out of phaseable. In fact, they're going to probably want the out of phase. But what their best, the most reliable out of phaser in the form of Dynasty and that shielded TIE Defender is out, which means Gunslinger is here to finish off the out of phase. The out of phase has been cashed in by Kintan Striders, but Panic at the Dockyards are about to negate that bonus morale by taking out the final cruiser, and they have a nearly full morale offense on this Star Destroyer. Ekpyre and Zero Gravitas are moving into position. Ekpyre taking a very sneaky under the Star Destroyer approach for this gen. And the double tunk is successful. Excellent coordination between the flexes and the supports. Bimal Had is swooping down to the underside to go tickle power until it breaks. And break it does. Had may pay for it with his life, but he has now opened the gates for his team to secure victory. Star Destroyer is at half. Weak spots are now ready for the pickings. They are tearing into this pizza with reckless abandon. And it may be a little presumptuous of me to say, but I feel like Panic at the Dockyards have this game solidly in their hands. Phase is about to end. Star Destroyer at 19. This is now firmly in the territory of being out of phaseable. And we see Ekpyre already in position in the back. Zero Gravitas in position in the back. The old-fashioned hit it from the back approach to the out of phase. Tried and true. And it will be the method that secures them. That final proton torp impacts the Star Destroyer's engines, starts a chaotic chain reaction that leads to the Star Destroyer exploding. No survivors. Game number 3, match point in the series. Got a Panic at the Dockyards in a convincing 3-0 victory. Kintan Striders came out strong in game number 1, and they put up a fight in games 2 and 3. But the sheer OBJ efficiency and the flex coordination of Panic at the Dockyards were just too much for the Kintan Striders to overcome. And looking at the scoreboards, Kriegzilla and Platypus putting in impressive damage numbers for Y-Wings, and of course, Ekpyred and Zero Gravitas in the X-Wings doing the legwork here. What a beautiful and consistent damage spread across Panic at the Dockyards as a whole. All right. If anyone has been watching the other games going on, has Nord versus Baywatch concluded yet? If so, then that will also change the way that standings are going to be. Hey, we're back. Wait, are you fucking with me? Did Nord 3-0? You're fucking with me. Did they really? Did they really? Holy shit! Yes! Yes! Nord Squadron just walked away with a 3-0 dominating win over Baywatch. What an... I would say what an upset, but honestly, Nord Squadron has been putting in the work, and it shows! Oh my goodness! Congratulations to Nord. Obviously, congratulations to Panic at the Dockyards as well, but damn! What a win! Okay, so let's take a look at how that affects the standings. Panic at the Dockyards has taken the win over Kintan Striders, which means they will be facing Nord Squadron up next. Panic versus Nord. That's going to be a match to watch. And then, obviously, Cavern Angels Blue will be taking on the winner of Wise Guys in Orange. Is Wise Guys versus Orange also happening right now? Has that been scheduled? So this is gonna be... Oh, it's done? Okay, Wise 3-0'd. Okay. Alright, so, and that means our next round of matches, it's going to be Wise Guys versus Cavern Angels Blue and Panic at the Dockyards versus Nord Squadron. This is shaping up to be a very, very interesting playoffs. The underdogs in the form of Nord Squadron, correct me if I'm wrong, but Nord recently was promoted from Division C, and now they are farther than some of the Division B groups in playoffs. A dramatic increase in player synergy and skill across the board. Nord Squadron absolutely has earned their spot here. 110%. Panic Nord is going to be a lit series of games. Well, that would be a broadcast for me. I have some things to take care of today, that will require my presence elsewhere. But of course, congratulations to Panic at the Dockyards, for moving forward here in the playoffs, and best of luck to Nord Squadron. And Nord Squadron, congratulations for your 3 over Baywatch. Best of luck against Panic at the Dockyards. Fair and balanced. TMCR. Anyway, that will be a broadcast for me. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Have a good day, afternoon, evening, whatever.